we wanted to send out a quick video and message going along with an email to talk about this coming Sunday and the fact that we will be celebrating communion together. We've not had communion as a church family since the first Sunday in March, which was the last Sunday we met together. And so we're really looking forward to having communion. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about communion, about why we haven't done it, and what it means and how we're going to do it in a couple days. So the first thing is, it's probably in one sense, at least at one level, kind of obvious why we haven't had communion. It's simply we haven't been together. One of the elements of communion, so to speak, and one of its characteristics, even in its name, communion, is that there is a strong sense that we are doing this as a body, as a group. It's not a private spiritual thing, even though we take the elements privately, that we commune with God privately. The doing of it together is profoundly important. And so the simple fact that we weren't able to do that led us to postpone, to hold off doing communion. There are a number of churches in our Eco-Presbyterian system, in our larger church family, and some have elected to do communion online. And the idea being that even though we're separated across the miles, there can still be a community. And we've held to that in a lot of ways, believing that as we worship online in various homes and even around the world, we can worship together, even though we're separated. But we pondered this and concluded that communion is something that is so essential to being together that it wouldn't be good, or if at least possible, we wanted to hold off. And so we did. And now we come to last week, our first regathering together. And this coming Sunday, August 2nd, will be our first communion together. And we're really excited about this and want to invite you to be a part of it, to join us on the patio at one of the two services at 9 o'clock or 10:30, or to participate from home. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But again, I want to emphasize the importance of doing this together. And this is one of the reasons we're going to ask that if we do communion, when we do communion, that we do it together. In the Protestant Reformation, the tradition in the church, or before that, in the medieval time and on, is that you could actually pay a priest to come over to your home and provide communion for you, the Mass, do the Mass. And it was a benefit because there's the belief that in doing this, it was a means of grace, that grace was it developed and expanded and given in a fresh new way. But when Luther and Calvin and other reformers came on the scene, they were vehemently against any idea of a private, personal communion. They were totally against any time that a communion service would be done for just one person or a small select group of people excluded from the larger whole. For Luther and Calvin, the reformers, it was always something we did together because it joined us to one another and joined us to God. There's a lot of theology in this, and there's not time to go through the details of it. But one of the things that we understand is that communion is a symbol. That's more than just a sign of something. A sign points to a reality that's out there somewhere, a sign that's in some distance, or a reality that's in some distance. A symbol in theology is something that in the doing of it, we actually participate in it. So when we take the elements as one body, we're not only remembering that that's true, acknowledging that's true, there is, in some miraculous sense, that reality manifesting right around us and in us and through us. When we take communion together, we're more than declaring that we are a united body, a family made by God. We are actually participating in it as God's presence envelops us and is a part of our communion, our community. And so for that reason, the Reformation period in our Presbyterian Reformed tradition is vehemently cautious of any sort of private communion. That being said, while we have communion on the patio, we recognize that there are many in our church family that are unwilling or uncomfortable about any sort of public setting right now. And that's no problem. And we'll be continuing putting out our worship services online the best that we possibly can so that our whole church family is fed and nurtured, encouraged. But that's raised the question again for us of how do we do communion? And this is how we're going to pull it off. And we want to again invite you to be a part of it. If you come on the patio on Sunday morning, there will be a table at the entry point, and there will be a stack of communion elements. And they're kind of like little dairy creamers for your coffee. You just pick one up off the table. When it comes time for communion, we'll walk you through it, but you're basically going to peel off the top layer, and there'll be a little wafer piece of bread inside there. And then I think peel off another layer, and the juice will be inside of that. But each person will pick one up. You won't be served during communion. You'll pick it up on your way in and throw out the plastic on the way out. And we'll make it clear. If you're there, it'll be easy. But if you're staying at home, we want to encourage you to join us in communion on Sunday morning, to participate with us, that as we online are doing the words of institution, this is my body given for you, as we pray together, that we want to invite you, as we take the elements on the patio, that you would take bread and juice, or bread and wine if you prefer, in your own homes. We ask you to participate. We invite you to participate with us. But the one thing we would ask is that if you would please do it with us. If you're watching the worship service Monday evening or Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday, we ask that you would not take communion, because we're not doing it together, and we want to do it together. But if on Sunday morning you turn on the computer and begin watching the worship service, and we come to that point, we invite you to have these elements prepared and to take communion together. And so as we are scattered, we're united. As we are a body that's worshiping on the patio together and also together in different homes, we are a people united by the presence of God, the spiritual presence of God, who communes with us and makes us into a community. So we invite you to be a part of this Sunday. And let's celebrate communion for the first time in 4 months. And we are grateful for this opportunity, grateful that you'll be a part of it. And God bless. If you got questions, email us or ask, give us a call. And we'd love to help you through this, any questions you might have. So God bless. We're looking forward to a great time together, great time of worship. Last week was outstanding, and we're looking forward to the next one. So God bless. Stay healthy and safe. Stay wise. And we'll see you soon, either live or virtually. God bless, dear friends. Bye.